Number 2, Liquid are 1 map up right now. That means they're only 1 victory away from securing themselves a playoff berth here for ESL 1 Germany. I've got my panel back here ready for game number 2. I've got Godot and I've got QO. Lads, draft number 2 is about to get underway here between Liquid and 5 men. We talked about the lone draw a little bit there in that game number 1. Is there anything else? I guess there's a lot of cheese picks that Liquid can go for here, but is there anything kind of glaring from the first couple of picks you guys are hoping not to see?
I don't really mind the Drow itself. It just felt really hard for them to play it for 5 men that particular game. It's just too aggressive, the side lanes coming from Liquid, obviously with the lone druid mid, so they don't have to bank on a hard carry for Liquid. So I think the Drow is definitely still a possibility for either team, but I'd like to see something different, I guess, because we've seen 5 men play Magnus, we've seen them play IO lineup, so I think these picks might be contested in this series.
Alright, so the IOs get taken out, and now Team Liquid will open up with the Void Spirit, but an instant response with the Rubik Clan. Okay. Sania's not going to be able to pick that up for game number 2. How are you liking these picks so far, QO? There's not much to go off, but...
Oh, I mean, stealing away this Rubik from Insania, that's like one big thing because
10 seconds
he's
remaining.
playing position 5, but he plays like position 4 or even better.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, just take it away from him if you just can't ban him, and they know that he's gonna be picking it anyways.
Yeah, the thing about 5 men is they only play position 4 Rubik, and it's on Misery normally. Liquid actually plays a position 4 as well as position 5. It's kind of like Alliance. But yeah, I mean, we see an Underlord opener this early. I'm not already liking it, unless they have some sort of gimmick, niche kind of thing going on here, like an Underlord mid as well, and as a flex pick.
Remaining.
But yeah, it's a little awkward to open up here because I don't really think it's a great game against Void Spirit. Even the mid lane, we saw previously how one of the teams, I think it was Mio that
Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, that's the one. Of course you know. But yeah, he just maxed Assimilate and played the lane regardless by just pushing out the lane against Underlord, and then Underlord lost its values.
I think 5 men has to use their bans for Lone Druid, Drow Ranger, and possibly Slark.
You really like
love Slark against Underlord.
You're liking this Slark ban, QO, but unfortunately for you, it has not been touched so far for ESL 1 Germany. So
it's a shit.
Remaining.
It's a bad hero.
Yeah,
it is a bad hero, yes.
Oh,
there are a lot more counters to the Underlord as well. We've seen Monkey King quite a few times. Ursa's been played as well. So a few of those other heroes can really dominate those melee heroes. But do we think the idea behind this Underlord is just to try and make sure that this Void Spirit doesn't have a lane no matter where he goes? You know, give the Underlord a good matchup against Void Spirit, even in the safe lane or in the mid?
Well, I mean, even if it's a mid, like Quakefox is a good mid laner. I think that the Underlord versus Void Spirit only happened because the mid player didn't play correctly.
Yeah, he didn't understand the matchup.
You just get like the max W and then just get the farms. Underlord is not gonna pressure you at all, like Quirky. Yeah. Just get 1-4-2.
Well, bans out. Lone Druid was banned. Drow is still open here, which is surprising. I still think Liquid can go for the Drow opener here, because even against Underlord, you just play the protect the Drow kind of idea, as Secret has been doing time and time again.
Just get Drow Ranger. I think Drow Ranger has shown always like a strong performance against. And the Underlord and Rubik's not gonna be like a big threat for Drow.
Well, luckily enough there for 5 men, they have the ban and the first pick out of this ban phase as well. So they can toss up whether or not they want to get another Drow counter out, pick up the Drow for themselves, or whether or not they're going to give it over to Team Liquid if they do want to go that way, therefore.
Well, the thing is, if they do pick the Drow here, Liquid can still opt to go for the Mars. Mars hasn't been banned out so far. It's a hero that Liquid does play. They actually have switched it to middle as well, where Boxy actually just somehow becomes a mid player. And it's a little worrying as 5 men picking Drow again after a losing game. You kind of like mentally and a little demoralized, you know, from losing the game. So they might kind of stray away from that pick on its own. Although I still think it would be fine. And Drow's not bad.
I think they're banning. I think they're picking Drow. 5 men. Oh, Magnus.
Magnus. Okay.
So they're going back to the Magnus that we mentioned before. Obviously, they could play either. They could play Magnus, either being banned out, Magnus being getting one left.
Okay.
Alright, we're seeing a completely new draft.
Well, Mikke likes to play this hero. We've seen it a few times from him in the tournament. And harkening back to the Magnus versus Void Spirit matchup, we saw that quite a lot for ESL 1 Thailand. The Southeast Asians were loving that matchup for the Magnus.
10 seconds remaining.
Was the favored matchup, if I remember correctly, QO? Should know this.
5 seconds remaining.
I forgot.
You forgot? I think that's Magnus' favored.
Yeah,
I think it's one of those matchups where the Magnus does quite well against the Void Spirit and allows to farm quite a lot here. So 5men giving themselves some good lane matchups so far for this Void Spirit, who we've seen in games where he has been untouched, has basically popped off basically all the time.
I just don't like this opener about 5-man, honestly. I mean, opening up with the Underlord just makes your draft so predictable, because now
Husker!
They're going to pick the Husker without an Oracle?
there's no synergy here besides
Juggernaut
the
Healing Ward.
Yeah.
And mid Magnus or Underlord, maybe could be a possibility.
Team Liquid's turn
Magnus
to
can be
bat.
just 5.
Okay, so they're going to go with Enigma here, and this is one of those heroes that they can flex between Boxy and Tiger. They've shown it before, where they have these heroes that don't really need all too much for like either way between the 3 and 4, and then Boxy and Tiger just chop and change depending on who needs what and when.
Like, the Enigma is
10
good,
seconds
but it's also
remaining.
kind of risky because you're picking it into a Rubik. But as a position
5
3 or
seconds
position
remaining.
4, you're going to be punishing the Troll Magnus a lot. You can just starve their farm, get your free farm, get your early Greaves or something like that. You just play really fast with the Juggernaut Healing Wood as well. It seems really hard for the Troll to get those early timings and just try to utilize the jungle, because Enigma is just taking down your towers real quick.
And you're also picking it against Magnus. You know, what's the point of ruining a carry's DS when he can just go jungle at
Radiant
level 6,
team
7
back.
on the top side of the map, just get empowered, let Rubik lane against the Enigma, so stall down the push. If the Liquid use more heroes towards bottom, then Troll can just take the top tower. So I'm not a big fan about this Magnus versus Enigma. If it was just Troll, then I
10
think it's
seconds
really good,
remaining.
because even if he goes top, he's not gonna
Team
farm efficiently.
Liquid's turn to
I
bat.
think it can go both ways though, right? Like, it sounds good because, as you said, he can recover, but I'm
Yep.
scared that Liquid plays really fast like the last game and then take all these towers down, and then you can't utilize them power because you're getting map controlled. And that's where the Disruptor really kicks in, because it's very easy to play from ahead when you're playing a fast
10
lineup,
seconds
because you can just use the
remaining.
glimpse to kind of cancel out or just send them back home when they
5
TP to
seconds
defend towers, or
remaining.
if you're chasing them down, you can use them very effectively as well. And 5-men are very
Radiant
mobile in the
team
team
back.
right now. It seems really hard to like get catches because you have Juggernaut who can spin, you got Void Spirit who can dissimilate or just step out. I mean, it just seems really hard because right now we know Liquid plays fast. 5-men is going for an approach where they want to slow down and just play around Troll timings, but I don't think they can really go for this unless
10
they have a very
seconds
strong
remaining.
hero that can win the matchup and then just roam upon.
5
And I think this
seconds
last pick for
remaining.
5-men is really going to have to dictate their lineup.
Well, like at the moment, I think Liquids are very satisfied with this Disruptor and Juggernaut lane against this Underlord, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they picked it. And Enigma against the Troll, so
Team Liquid's
probably have
turn
this
to
a little more confident, I'd
Radiant
say.
team
And then if
pick.
Invoker.
Okay.
Wait by Invoker,
So
this is where we have to see the Riki. Come on, 5-man. This is it.
It's not bad, right?
Put Magnus 5, Rubik 4.
that feels really greedy coming in from 5-man, and I guess they would have to rely quite a lot on that
10
Ricky to do a
seconds
lot of work here.
remaining.
We've seen it as the counter to the Invoker in that mid lane. So whether or not Chessie wants to
5
pick that up.
seconds
But the
remaining.
difference is when OG used it, they had an enabler pos 4, right? Like a Tusker. You don't really have that this game. You have a Rubik pos 4 and an Underlord position 3, which seems...
Yeah, they're very passive, and Magnus 5 as well. If that
Yeah.
happens, I think I can agree with that part.
Only about 50 seconds left here for 5-men. You guys poked out the Ricky for a little bit here, but what kind of enables them to
But if
slow
I
this game down?
If I think about Chess's personalities, I don't think he's gonna go that carry type of mid. It's gonna go more like an enabler, but the problem is there's not many heroes.
Yeah, I think Tiny would have been one of them, but they banned out Liquid. So, melee heroes or heroes that can just
Zeus?
fight. I don't think Zeus is an
Point of
enabler,
pain.
but...
Pin of, I know, you don't really want to play King of Pin.
They're just in this position now where it's like really hard to pick the ideal hero, right? Because of what Liquid has already drafted for themselves.
Alright, let's go Broodmud.
You wanna see
Actually,
a
I
Brood
do
Mother?
like that. I think that's
Against
one way to go
Enigma,
about it.
Against
Just,
Invoker,
yep.
they don't have any heroes to lane against.
Oh, Kyo is so smart on the end of the panel there, predicting the Brood Mother. So now 5-men, you're gonna have a position 5 Magnus. We've seen it before here, but the Brood Mama is in the mid lane. They don't really have a good hero to go mid against the Brood if they do want to change up and put Okay, I read that right? Yeah. Boxy's playing Invoker. Just
So it should be Void Spirit in mid to try and hold out against the Broodmother.
But is it enough, boys? Is it enough to deal with the mama and his babies?
I mean, my prediction today, like, you guys have to just trust me.
You're saying that you're going to go 100% throughout the entire today, so let's see what you got, QO. What do you got?
Even if I predict the Brood, I have to go with Liquid.
Yeah,
Why?
It is what it is.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it's pretty clear to predict on the, I guess, the better odds team, right? But, I mean, I think Quickfa's going to do fine against the Broodmother. You just max Assimilate. When he hits level 6, you can't ever kill the Void either, so...
You can always kill these all the
So,
Broodlings.
who are you going to go with, Darcy, in the predictions
It's
before we head in?
Liquid. It's too all in for 5 men right now. I don't like
All
it.
right, so it looks like my panel here are going to go for a nice 2-0 between Team Liquid and 5 men. So we're going to leave it with the casters for potentially the final time. It's going to be Odie Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much. And yeah, Fogged, I mean, I've got to ask you, what do you sort of think about the Brood? Is this something that Liquid's going to be looking at and going, oh, we forgot about that? Or have they got reasons to not be too concerned about it?
Void Spirit versus it. I think the matchup is, it's perfectly fine. You're going to be able to farm. You're not going to get dodged out. They do have decent resist, so I don't think he's going to farm them as consistently as some other matchups, but I feel like you should be just fine. And I feel like they kind of like raised, every time I saw 5 men, they're like, we're going to raise the greed. I saw Liquid also, you know, they doubled up. They're like, we're going to raise the greed. And then we're going to raise the greed even more. And they end with an Enigma and an Invoker as their last two. It looks wonky, but if they're comfortable with it, it definitely has a lot of its strengths. It's a lot of ways to buff up and to play around this Juggernaut.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see. I don't know if... Have we seen a Boxy Invoker before?
I want to say no.
At least not what I can recollect from the games I've seen. So very excited to see what Boxy's going to be able to do playing the Invoker. As you would imagine, do you think that was the plan before the Brood, or do you think this is the change in response to the Brood? Like otherwise, Quakefor would have been playing the Invoker, because Invoker is definitely a Quakefor hero, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I think it was just a swap. Yeah, they just swap because of the Brood for sure. And they do stuff like this on Liquid a lot, right? Like Taiga is playing the Enigma, so he's probably going to be playing more of that 3 position in a way, and Boxy's going to play that's kind of like 4 position, maybe Invoker. They tend to switch things around here. So how much the Invoker is going to be able to do? They are versus a Magnus. You know, it's a 5 position mag, so I feel like they're going to be fine. They're going to be perfectly fine down bottom. They're going to just be able to deny the Eidolons, deny creeps, and I feel like it's going to hurt Ace quite a bit. I don't know what Pi can actually do to just help out, really. He's just a Magnus, so usually you're playing around your skewers, but you're versus double range, so it's very unlikely for you to get that.
Will this be a scenario, though, that on the bottom lane, Tiger, he's not going to be able to go full grid, like he will have to hang around, or do you think there will be a point where he can leave Boxy to sort of survive on his own and take advantage of the jungle?
I think he might be able to. I think he's probably going to just stay, because he's probably just going to stay down there, because that's the way they usually play it as, and he's just going to lane. But it's a Quasflex Invoker. If he gets boots, they're going to be speedy.
Well, that's the thing as well, because as you said, in terms of the switch rounds that we see Liquid doing, is this a game where Tiger's going to take farm priority over Boxy? I think Boxy will still take the priority.
I was saying that I think Tiger's going to take the priority.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that definitely makes more sense.
Because then he just has to play like this 4 position Invoker, which we've seen, you know, not quite a long time, but at TI, you know, that craze that everybody did have. It can still do its damage, and like right off the bat, this is always the scary thing, is that they have to be able to kill these Eidolons. They're going to be able to get at least 1 of them, but 2 creeps are already denied. So lane's going to push in, Ace is already sad. And we see, you know, mid, first level, actually the first 2 in particular for Broodmother is pretty bad versus most heroes. And Void Spirit's got one of those not only amazing animations, but look at that base damage advantage. Almost, I mean, a solid 20 damage over Jesse. So that looks pretty solid. Up top is a lane where they can pose a lot of kill threat onto Zibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And plus the nuke.
Which is, as you always say, is what you want to see when you have a jug, right? You want it to be in a lane where that sort of opportunity early in. You're absolutely right. I mean, both of these heroes, anything get caught out of position, nothing that they can do to hold back the jug during the Blade Fury.
No,
very careful.
Yeah, when Zibe started with like a Gauntlet of Strength and some extra regen and all that, but wait, what?
They just got themselves first blood fog.
First in everything.
I mean, call it.
I mean, you are ready.
You just died to literally the most passive lane in Dota 2.
Oh,
this
no.
Is a Quas
Diane
Invoker
Fog
and
pulling out the
Pylon.
shots, but I mean, you're right. You shouldn't dodge this, right?
No, I didn't see at all what happened,
No.
but did he like?
Maybe we got a replay. Maybe we got a replay.
I think we need to replay.
Yeah.
Something disastrous happened.
I mean, Tiger and Boxy weren't even low. So it's
that's
like,
what I mean. They're
what were they
both-
even trying for?
They're both level
nice.
1 on the side of 5-man. So that's why I'm like, what the hell could have happened that they were like, we need to commit for a kill? Usually it's like, oh, we hit level 2, commit for a kill. I don't know. Something crazy must have happened.
Goodness. And the thing is, with this mid lane matchup as well, one of the things for Quake is, compared to the Brood, he's going to be able to move around a lot, right? Chessie is going to sit around this area of the map, which means that Chessie's not going to be able to help or make moves in response to the plays that Quake is doing across the map. Top lane, Mickey does get burst out. Able to run him down. The damage looks like the Blade Fury would use to hopefully in an attempt to get Misery in, cost of his life. Or maybe even Insane going to go down as well here with a Firestorm. They're diving in on him. He's able to step back behind that tower.
They're playing top lane perfectly. They're reducing damage, with Fade Bolt as well as that Atrophy. So Vixen is actually missing quite a bit of last hits. And he went for boots first on Mickey. So he's fairly squishy when they do try to commit for those type of kills. They just hit him right back.
All of these side pulls top and pressure early on.
He's just getting hit back.
Yeah,
It's just too much damage.
Huge punches. Sanya. Drew. Bolt will bring him low. Not quite enough to kill him, but still, definitely seeing Misery doing a good job here with that. Him hitting the level 3 first, he can really threaten these two. Very hard for them to step up to the lane.
Yeah, and lane positioning is perfect right now for 5-man too. So yeah, Mickey is going to be shut down pretty significantly. In comparison to the Troll, who's also getting shut down. So this is, that's a pretty good sign there for 5-man. Mid it, we will see if Quake, but he's leading in those last hits. Okay, level 3 pulse actually isn't kill the baby spiders.
That's pretty nice for the matchup then.
Yeah,
Very
and he's
nice.
maxing Dissimulate, so he will be able to, if he ever commits, he'll be able to kill off all the spiders, and he should be able to always get away.
But this is the thing, because when Quake for...
Oh, so this is what happened, bottom. He just walked up? I don't know, that was very weird. Maybe
Strange
break a
things
clarity? Something, like I guess he must have like gone for breaking a clarity or something, and then just got caught off by the cold snap. Oh, not sure.
Too bad.
Still looked weird. Oh, look at this! Oh, look at this little spiderite right here by Koikfa, or by by Chessie. He's gonna actually kill the bounty rune. He's gonna kill the enemy bounty rune, perhaps. Sorry. That one. There we go. We see it there.
Very nice.
He killed the bounty. Yeah.
All right. So, well, I guess Quake was got the full ball. It's not like he
tower
needs
is
those
under
charges.
attack.
So he's going to come and try and see what Chessie's up to here in the jungle. Top lane, Boxy actually coming over with TP, looking to see if they can turn this around as Misery and Zibbe try and commit it onto Insane. The cold snap's down on a Misery. Tornado as well from Boxy onto the two of them. Mickey trying to step forward, but he's taking big hits from Zibbe. He's got to back off, give some respect to Zibbe Underlord here. Zibbe lays down the Firestorm, and the three of them won't be able to get him. They're able to get Misery. They do keep Mickey safe, but still Zibbe definitely proving to be quite an issue that struggling to tackle on this.
Yeah, I actually kind of want Boxy to stay up here. I think Tiger now can just play this jungle thing. Damage, I feel like, has already been done to the Troll. I feel like Ace is now going to start to just farm fine down there, so I'd like to see them just play around securing Mickey a little bit more on the side of Liquid.
Mirrors of my delight.
Boxy is still hanging in the area. He almost has the Urn finish, too. He gets a kill here. We'll be able to finish that one.
Yeah, his presence definitely make it a little harder for 5-men to get too close to Mickey any further. Koifa just continue to farm at these spiders. Money for him.
Yeah, we saw Chessie. He sent another little spiderling and actually killed the rune. I believe it was bottom. That was the the early rune, the illusion rune that Koifa did have. And yeah, they're gonna keep the 3 up here. I like this choice here from Liquid. It's going to be slowing down Jibbe a lot, and then it's going to give Mickey level 5, and then they have much better kill threat with a level 3 Blade Flurry onto most targets.
Oh, Koifa I mean, look at his CS because these spiders. 100 CS at 7 minutes in. You've never seen it before. These sort of last hits are unheard of, thanks to the spiders.
And they gave him a ward also, so he gets a deep ward, even the secondary ward also. So he gets a deep ward to watch where Chessie is jungling, and he's going to place a ward for himself, it seems like, shortly.
It's going to be interesting to see how well 5 men can deal with Quofa's movements, right? Because you have this Brood that's not going to be helping out when Quofa starts diving in on the side lanes, looking to make those ganks. Do you actually have the sort of heroes and answers other than your mid laner to stop those sort of kills happening? Bottom lane, do manage to get the sail to skewer back onto Tiger, but Boxy's over with the backup. Tornado's down, and the mana's gone, and so's their chance of trying to bring down Tiger. Boxy will force the two of them away.
To answer your question, it doesn't really feel like they will. I'm wondering what items Chessie's going to go for. Okay, he's going to go for Diffusal. That'll at least help to be able to set up, because I feel it's pretty limited for 5 minutes to actually do a whole lot of stuff this game. I feel like it's extremely passive.
Yeah, right. Troll Magnus. I mean, top, Rubik Underlord, strong lane.
They're going to be the doers.
It's good pushing, but yeah, it's going to rely on you getting a pit or Misery able to step in and lift you up. No sort of big jump to match what Quofa can do. Is Quofa making the move down bottom? Looking for Quofa. Quofa has found. Sorry, Quofa has found Quofa. He's found Ace. He's found Ace. Ace is dead. Quofa certainly found himself this game. He's going to be having a great time, I feel. It just looks like such a nice game to play this Void Spirit, because there isn't that heavy hero that's going to be able to react to these movements. You go and dive the tower, take a kill. If they're not able to stop you with the heroes that are at that tower at that moment in time, no one coming in is going to be able to stop them.
Bottom tower.
Absolutely, yeah. And we see top Misery eating the full Omni Slash. Zippe might actually die too here. There's a level 4 spin.
This as well.
Ooh, actually pulls him away from the spin there for a second.
It's crits coming in.
Back-to-back crits.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
2 crits in a row, nearly did it.
Look at Quofa. He's actually running over. Might be able to find
Is he
Zippe.
going to be able to find it?
Big plays coming in. He gets the ward down.
Oh, he doesn't go.
I was hoping.
Go hunting. Disappointment.
Bottom, they're going to rotate Misery down here. Ace, he's level 6. He's quite strong. They can easily kill Boxy. The black hole.
Yeah, black hole in the EMP. His mana's down low, but he's still able to put the one to get the battle chance off. Starts to charge straight over towards Tiger. Tiger will go down, but Ace is so low off the back of this move that he goes down. They get the dust out onto Boxy, but they don't have the damage to kill Boxy. Boxy's fine. Quofa takes out Pylai Die. Boxy continues to stay on top of Misery. He's just tackling on his own, really, with a cold snap in the earth. They get themselves the kill.
And we see the responses. They can make responses. They can bring more heroes. But yeah, on the system 5-man, they can't make these rotations. Zippe, he wants to stay up top, and he might actually go down here this time. Spin, 1 or 2 hits.
Oh, he needs a crit. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. Just kidding. Just the right clicks alone. Mickey finds it. It's early days, but it looks a little worrying for 5 men already.
It definitely does. We'll see. Look, it's going to be really important what Chessie's able to do with his diffusal, with his timings, how much he's able to make space, because I don't really see them able to make too many moves of their own. The counter initiation they can do once, well, if Magnus ever does get a Blink Dagger, I don't think he ever will this game, but it's just super hard for them to make any moves.
Yeah. I feel like we've seen these games before where Chessie gets the Brood, he farms a lot in the mid lane, and then the game's over because everything else is just collapsed around him. So yeah, a definite pressure on Chessie to do something with the good Brood game that he's obviously able to have around this mid lane.
My fear is that he can always just die, because the thing is, like, you may be strong around, like, if you're only playing versus like one hero with your diffusal and with your insatiable hunger, but like, if he just glimpses out of position, they have more than enough burst damage to deal with him. The Void Spirit, the Disruptor, they can control and kill.
Yeah, big fan of this as well. And Mickey is going to go for the Battle Fury rush this game. And I'd imagine and hope that he will also be picking up an Axe, because Axe Battle Fury, you can never push with the spiders, you know, and as soon as they show, boom, a quick swish slash just wipes out the whole squad.
Yeah. Zippe, bottom, shows his face. He went phase boots this game, which a lot of games, you know, you feel like you might need it in as Underlord, but they're playing against Crossflex and Volker. I feel like this is going to bite them a bit too here. They need to find some type of pair of arcane boots in this team.
Pie's trying to get some.
Okay, Pi and Misery are going to try to get it. They're still quite
Misery,
some time away from it, but...
Yeah.
Oh, UK human.
No, Pine Misery.
But yeah, I feel like that's going to hurt them a bit. This EMP is going to do a lot of damage. All of their heroes are actually extremely... Well, 4 of their heroes are extremely susceptible. Rubik, he can survive. Usually he can like wand up and be fine. But 4 of them, they have like no mana pool. 400, it'll be gone just from that EMP.
And it's...
They're playing a little bit of a split farm also, by the way. Foxy and Taiga are kind of both playing the 3 position in a way.
I guess that kind of works. You know, both these heroes going to do something great with farm, and at the same time, if they don't have a lot, they're still able to have an impact. Quoifer moves with Insania, able to lock down Pi with a static storm.
I think that's going to be the name of the game. It's going to be Liquid doing stuff. I don't know what 5 men can do with their draft. I don't know how they can actually punch back versus Liquid.
Well, at what point does sort of the whole Brood Mother thing kick into play, and then Liquid are actually going to care that there's a Brood Mother?
I'll be totally honest, I don't really know, because the last 3 times I've seen Brood, the hero's done nothing. It gets farmed and then just loses. So let's see what they can do. If they can try to break Liquid with this. Is Insania? We'll get caught.
He still jumps to play with.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be on this, just counter-initiating every single time here and hoping that they can turn the fights. They do have decent ways of doing that, at least with Rubik and Magnus, but I feel like if Liquid just plays the greed game, they just chill back and farm, they're going to be fine in this game.
Yeah.
They have this Enigma.
And they have this Battle Fury Jug.
Yeah.
He's going to have it online in very good time. Because the fact that there is a Brood mid, and not a mid that's making any sort of moves that slows down this Jug. Mickey's had all the space in the world now that top lane has started to fall apart with the laning stage coming to an end. And yeah, Battle Fury is going to be online for the 15-minute mark easily.
Feels good for Liquid. Taiga's pretty much got Blink Dagger too this game. He always has to watch out as Taiga though. He's versus Rubik, so that's always going to be a bit of a fear for him. Yeah,
on him. For Zibek. Box it. Setups there. Tornado cold snap and the MP down in place. Midnight calls down to make sure they have the damage. They certainly do. Zibek getting blown up. 5 minutes here. Chessie. Be able to turn over towards Boxy, but do they actually have detection? They don't. Boxy,
and now Chessie.
He's fine. Chessie's caught in the static storm. Does get the ult off as he turns towards Boxy. Boxy trying with the jukes, but Boxy gets nuked down.
Oh, no,
he's actually stuck on the high ground here as Pi locks him down with the RP, and Chessie, well, he gets a couple of kills sort of handed towards him there with Liquid fighting in a very awkward position up there right by the spider. And I think that's something they'll probably learn from and say, well, you know what, let's try to not fight where Chessie is.
Yeah, walked up right into him. We saw Koifa commit his spells, trying to protect his buddy, but ends up actually just giving 2 kills. 2 kills away. So we still see, Chessie, he has his power around his defusal, but...
Oh yeah, he's still big, but it does kind of require the fights to come to him. I mean, and they just did.
Absolutely.
The bounty which my matriarch will prize.
Dude pulls that lead though, the Empower starting to kick in. Actually evened out pretty much on gold, only 1k or so for Liquid. Experience actually favoring 5 men now.
Chessie got the money for... No, he's just about got the money for the beat. He'll be out full force mid lane. Get away from that Tornado with the Blade Fury.
Chessie with the BKB is going to be very strong versus 4 of the heroes of Team Liquid. He still has to watch out when he walks up into the Jug, but versus the other 4, he's going to reign supreme in pretty much all of those matchups.
Top tower is under attack.
Shiba trying to find his farm down here.
They're going to try and jump in mid, but he's just got the BKB delivered. This is not an easy kill with the BKB.
No, it's not. Koikfa has the Ags finished up now too, though.
Yeah, I think they will have maybe seen that BKB there, and
Dire's top tower has fallen.
That sort of move becomes very hard to make. I mean, how he's sort of getting a jump. It is going to rely on Tiger, who has that blink to get him with the big black hole, really. Anything else, Chessie's always going to be able to pop BKB and turn around.
Yeah, no real long duration stuns on the side of Liquid except for that black hole. Everything else, like you said, he will be able to get it off. And yeah, now they're sitting back and farming too. Doesn't feel like they're... Like, 5 men's never mad when they get the farm because they have the Troll Magnus. Feels like Liquid doesn't mind too much because they've raised up. Like we said, they went really greedy with their draft as well. And with the itemization that we've seen.
Especially after the blink, Tiger goes straight for the BKB. No mech this game. Making sure that he's going to be able to get in and get those black holes off, and of course, very little other than the RP, but obviously very hard to really ever find a situation to position to cancel that black hole through the BKB. So Tiger, he's going to have pretty free reign with the ultimates this game when he has that BKB done.
Yeah, as long as he gets Misery too. Gotta watch out for the Rubik's Steel.
That's true. Clutch stuff, and 850 gold towards Miseries.
They're doing pretty decent on their blinks on their supports, actually. Pi is much closer than I thought he would be at this point in the game. He's just been quiet. Actually, this is one of the games where I feel like Pi is dying the least. He wanted to use a lot more.
Look for him here. Try and find him in the trees. Misery closing in. Nice use of the Blade Fury straight away to make sure the Tornado doesn't slow him down. So we'll tell with the 3-man Deafening Blast. Buying a little bit of time for himself, but no further way to get out. 5 men will get themselves the kill.
Bottom, Black Hole was committed. Taiga, he saw an opportunity just for a single hero with Koikfa. Easy kill. I think it's perfect. Like, Taiga, I think using the Black Hole pretty liberally is perfectly fine. You don't really want to use it in any headshot engagement, but this might give opportunity for this. 5 men, no Black Hole. They're going to commit to this rush here.
DD on Chessie. Not going to have any trouble taking this down very, very quickly. Help of Ace 2. Ace closing in on that BKB. Sunstrike comes out to scout things. Nobody in position to stop this. Take themselves the Aegis on Ace.
He's very farmed. Almost has his BKB finished too. These 2 top cores at the moment for the side of 5 men are at a very good pace. It's starting to fall behind, but the other 2 are. Sania.
Everybody's coming up, and Koikfa's walking in on this. He's just going to instantly get telekinetic. He booted. He's still able to jump out to the side. Gets over towards the safety of Insania. Chessie also starting to lay the webs down here as he makes moves. Liquid out into the trees. 2 of them will back away with the TPs. Get away, but we're starting to see 5 men get out of their half of the map. Put some pressure on with the Spider.
They're getting some good farm out, and Chessie's trying to get toward that itemization that allows him to actually be able to go across the map. Because right now you're a bit limited by your webs, so you can actually play around this area for the time being. Sure, he has 3 charges, but it's still very, very hard for you to move forward with it. Shivis continues to farm the scary side of the map for his team. But yeah, just a very farm-intense game here. 6-11. I'm getting close to 20 minutes. And Misery, he has Ghost Walk stolen, but he's spotted. Koikfa does not connect with the Remnant, though. And now Koikfa getting turned.
He's going to get rooted. Have they got enough lockdown? They're trying to bring Pilot Eye in and jump up to the higher ground. We'll get Koikfa away. Pi's trying to chase. Catches him with the shot very slowly in range for the RP. Oh, the dodge is there with the Dissimilate. Koikfa able to put the RP to shame, but they may still get the kill. Chessie wraps around. Got the catch.
Meanwhile, mid. Omni actually bounces to creeps. Mickey.
We've got to run now. Boxy might not be able to do so. That's 5 men there in with the grab up onto Boxy. Boxy get some safety here from Insania laying down the Static Storm, but not enough. Mystery able to reach round and drop in with the Fade Bomb. Insania TP's out, but starting to see 5 men make some moves.
Are fortified.
Now that they are able to find these positions, that top area that's been laid down with the webs of Chessie, and of course this mid portion of the map, both places that Chessie does not have trouble accessing. And as you say, the sort of the area that he's able to access soon is going to be even greater, with the Ags coming in at just 1,300 gold. Also, his plays Pi. He's got himself the blink. He's ready to make moves himself.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times I've seen these 5-position magnets, it's like 40 minutes in and they don't have blink dagger.
Yeah,
only 20 minutes and he's got it. I mean, that's pretty huge for them to be able to set up, and it seems like the greed is starting to pay off because they're splitting Liquid up all over the map. Liquid's starting to make more mistakes.
Yeah, looking a million times better. The 5 men comparison to what they were bringing out in game 1.
Yeah, it just feels like Liquid don't have the same fighting force either as they did in the last time. As we saw top, like 5 men, they chased that Void Spirit for quite a long time to get him, but there was no form of reaction from Liquid. They were making their own play.
Yeah, I thought that Quake would maybe have been able to do more in this early portion of the game, but it just sort of hasn't happened.
No, and now top. Nice wall down.
On top of Insania. Quake's going to try and jump in and burst Misery, but Misery forwards the crit and Mickey. Mickey turns over towards Ace. Ace, he's out of mana, but he's got a full one. Pops in, still has the BKB and the ult to rely on. So they could try and chase, but Ace is happy to turn. Becomes the BKB out. Commits with the barrel, turns it more Tiger, but Tiger holds his position with the black hole. It comes down and it's a perfect black hole, wasting the entirety of the duration of both of their BKBs. Couldn't be any better there. As it locks down Jesse, Ace comes out of the Aegis. They're going to look for a second round and see if they can bring him down. Slowing him up, he's surrounded. They're trying to take him out with the Dark Rift, but he's not in range. Even Boxy pushing Ace that little further away from the Rift to make sure that he wasn't able to be picked up. That black hole from Tiger, I mean, coming in, getting the 2 cores during their BKBs. I mean, he saves the fight completely for Liquid.
It may have just saved the game, it feels like there. That was such a big turnaround. The 5 minutes was really starting to snowball off of all that.
Middle tower is
Rubik
under
being
attack.
dead, Taiga saw the opportunity, gets the perfect black hole, and then Boxy at the 8th there. He did a great job of controlling the Underlord. Not only with the
Radiant's
Deafening Blast, but he
middle tower
tornadoed
has
him as well,
fallen.
preventing any type of save. Perfect fight for Liquid. And it felt like they needed that there too. It's starting to look a little scary from 5 men snowballing. Now they're in a very comfortable spot with this Jug farming.
Radiant's
and now,
bottom
no
tower
Aegis,
is under
so now they have a
attack.
lot more of a window that they can actually do stuff too.
I mean, they've got to keep their eyes out for that Enigma. I mean, that's going to be the straight-up play Tiger looks for every single time. Because you do have these 2 melee carries that are relying on this duration of the BKB and the ultimate to pop off. When it comes down to staying alive with the insatiable hunger and the battle chant, able to lock them down in the black hole during that, then you're going to feel very good about yourself. As top lane, Tiger able to sneak away before Pie's able to catch him.
Yeah. In a lot of situations, it's still going to be tough for Taiga to just get the straight BKB black holes off versus the Rubik with the Aether Lens and now the Blink Magnus like you were mentioning before. But yeah, saw the opportunity.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And it has to be 5 minute counter.
Very, very impressive. And you can see, Tiger, it really is one of those games where the emphasis, he knows it's on the black hole. So he's just going to go straight for the refresher next.
Can't steal 2 of them.
Well, unless we see a refresh on Miz. But that probably isn't
Dire's top
unless we get
tower
into
is under attack.
the 90th minute.
Oh, Insania, he gets the initiation on the Pie, the glimpse back.
Static Stone drop down. The easy kill.
The wisdom of
Holding anything
eternity
back from that as they
guides
take him
my
down.
blade.
But now we do have that item done on Chelsea. Axe is complete. So we'll see sort of how much more of the map Chelsea can start to open up and take claim for himself as areas that he will be able to join the 4 of his teammates in.
We'll have to see. Liquid, they're buying time. 10 seconds until that black hole is available again. Well, they're perfectly fine with all this pace here.
Radiant's
Mickey getting away with a
bottom
crazy
tower is
amount of
under
farm.
attack.
Manta and Scotty pretty much done now.
Bounty.
Spiderling, not this time. I'm not going to kill the bounty away from Mickey. So let's see, 5 men. They're also at a pretty strong point here too. They look like they might actually go for a smoke play with Chesty's timings. And Basher. Okay, Ace has the Basher finished. The illusion of Poikva actually saw the smoke if they were looking right at it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Might still catch Boxy though with the way he's pushing out.
Looks like they should. He's very far forward. Misery should be able to get the grab. Foxy sees him for a second there. He's gonna be able to Wex away. He's just gonna be able to walk away. And now his team's gonna come start to sandwich, it looks like.
Mickey's moving in. He's moving in straight away. He's going to start looking towards X-Base. He's able to turn and start punching away at Mickey. Mickey gets the healing wood out over to the side. Tiger. Black Hole. He's going to use the Black Hole to lock down Chelsea during some of this BKB again. Omni Slash comes into play, dodging the RP with that Omni Slash, and then taking down Jesse. Jesse's dead. He's out of action. And Ace, he's trying to finish this off. Doesn't BKB in the ult to commit in onto Mickey. Mickey trying to break away. The play Fury's back on. As Mickey's able to step to the side. They've got the lift up on Quite, but do they have to control the back? But the Revenant was out. It pulled Ace away to stop Ace from being able to chain lock Quite for down. As once again, the team fights a success for Liquid. Tiger just able to use these black holes to fully disable at least one of the cores of 5 men.
He saw the opportunity there, and like you said, the Aether Remnant from Koikfa really bailing him out of a situation that looked like he would die. That was a big item timing for 5 men there in that fight too, and Liquid's able to just take out their Broodmother instantly again. The Omni Slash fully commits and sticks onto her, and they win big in this fight.
Starting to really bump the lead up. 6k advantage now. Liquid, the items just continues to fly out for Mickey. The farm, him with his Battle Fury just outdoing Ace's Troll by quite
Radiant's
some pace
middle
here.
tower is under attack.
3.5k difference. On top of the Skadi that he's just finished, he's going to be well on the way towards the MKB.
And he's got, you know, he may not have Empower, but he has buff up from his team. The Alacrity plus the Solar Crest, it's going to pack a punch every single time that's all thrown onto Mickey.
Yeah.
Boxy, he's prioritizing that every time too.
Well, here we go as well. Misery, he has the blink. So now
Okay.
you've got to sort of see him put a stop to these plays that Tiger's getting away with. Or at least have something to sort of one-up with. One-up him with after the Black Hole comes to an end. Got to stop this Enigma. They're just the opportunity to drop these big ults every single time.
And Mick is just getting so much out of all this. I mean, he's just, like you said, massive full item ahead of the Warlord. These Omni Slashes, they're going to be lethal. If he connects it on the Broodmother, Chessie will die every single time. There's nothing he can do about it. No counterplay. Unless you can somehow pull him away with some spiders or something along those lines, but very unlikely versus Battle Fury. Yeah, it's just hard. Have to be very hopeful with their type of initiations or counter initiations on Pi too. So yeah, the itemization. I'm liking the itemization from Liquid just a bit more. All these buff ups and everything onto the Jug, duels on Insania to kite out the Troll, kite out the Magnus, and stuff like that. Lots of different things. The Shivas on Koikfa works very well. I'm seeing a lot more selfish items coming out on the side of 5 men in comparison.
I mean, for 5 men as well, for Chessie, where does he sort of go from now? He got the Diffusal, the BKB, and the Ags. Nothing really crazy has been achieved. I thought that was mid lane. Now to get the jumping on the Zibbe. Zibbe, he's slowing down very suddenly here. Tornado to seal it off. But yeah, so what do you do now as this Brood? You know, Chessie, it's 1, 2, and 2, hasn't really been able to have that much of an impact. He's going to go for the AC next, but it doesn't feel easy.
No real items. This is one of the problems why I was talking about the Broodmother. I don't really know, because this is the point where I see a lot of Broods, they're dominating, and then they do nothing after this point.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Got the plate mail done, so he's a little bit tankier. They're just stalking him. They're watching him. Range bash on Koikfa. Another one.
He's standing his ground there. That definitely box is not going to save him. He got an opportunity before he took that full-footed jump. The Tiger. He's in as well with the Black Hole again with the Omni Slash. It's a Drop the knife, and Chessie's going to live. Who managed to turn with the RP? They locked down the 2 of them. Aegis has been picked up though by Mickey, so he's back for a second round. Is he actually going to be able to live for a second round? On the side is Sania. He'll drop the static storm onto Chessie. Chessie's been trapped. Chessie actually TPing out. Like a warrior going out. Misery. He's in. But immediately it does get put to a stop. Alright, tries for the skewer back on Mickey, but he's away with Blade Fury. They're backing off it. They get any further catch it as 5 men. They don't have the detection on Boxy. Boxy under the invis. Roshan did go down to Liquid. They did get that Aegis on Mickey. Quickly taken away from them.
They're fortunate though to have him get away though, with the glimpse from Insania coming in so clutch, saving both Invoker and the Jug. It looked like
that
there.
Black Hole would have been big otherwise.
Yeah, Koikfa with a pretty big mistake, just getting chain bashed into chain rooted.
Yeah, he really pushed his luck. Standing that close. It's Insania. For the power of top lane as well. Root's come into play. He can't run. Why men? Be able to take down this tier 2 top.
Pretty massive for them now. Bissell also finished up on Ace, so, you know, in those situations, he will 100% kill Koikfa now, too, with the bashes and roots and an Abyssal thrown in on top. Yeah, that was massive. Liquid, they have to be a little more careful about how they make a mistake like on Koikfa. So that's given a pretty much like a full item to everybody on the side of 5 men.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Koikfa, he just can't afford to stand anywhere close to this drop. As yeah, I mean, he literally did that last fight. He
Radiant's
just stood
bottom
there.
tower is
He was
under
like,
He did
"Okay,
get
yeah,
chain
you can
bashed
hit
and
me."
rooted, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you've got to play against that RNG,
Yeah.
right? You just have to not let yourself stand in melee range of the troll at all.
Yeah. No teammates to help. No teammates to bail him out during it or anything either, too. So. Yeah, very fortunate for 5 men. And did they still have the cheese? Yeah, they kept the cheese. Okay. I can't believe they actually got both of them. I saw Mickey pick it up during the Omni Flash, by the way, which was pretty sweet. He's got a KB finish, so he hits real hard.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about the whirling axes and the incapacitating bite, which will cause him some problems. Now he doesn't have to worry.
He's going to jump in onto Ace. Again, he's in on the melee range. The Tornado will bail out for now. Tiger dropping the black hole onto Jesse. He knows that with that sort of lockdown and the damage that Mickey has, they'll kill the spider every single time. Now Liquid can chase from on for the vision for the glimpse. Zibe going to try and ult his way out of it, but Mickey's damage is too much.
He actually dies. Wow. And that's a really heads-up play there from Taiga too, because he's got the cooldown reduction talent. He's got the quickening charm. Rubik doesn't. He knows
got the refresh, yeah.
Now he's got a full range, but they know that they had this black hole at just a faster
Radiant's
pace than the
middle
Rubik
tower
did.
is
They
under
look for the
attack.
fight straight up and just cast it onto the Rubik.
Radiant
I mean, yeah,
structures are fortified.
these black holes are just going to and they happen already, just destroy both of these big characters. As we're seeing, both Chessie and Ace. They've got to be so worried about
Radiant's
Tiger. They've got to
middle
hope that someone on their
tower
team
is
can try and get to him, but there's not really anyone that
middle
can
tower
find
is under
Tiger and
attack.
sort of jump to the backlines to start the fight. They just don't have that sort of hero.
Yeah, Tiger can, honestly, he might be able to refresh or find a play here and just look to close the game on surprise. I'm going to have to be very careful with the positioning. Mitsu's going to smoke in the back. Black hole's available for him. He only has it for a couple more seconds now. That stone spell's about to go away.
Try and go in onto Mickey. Look at the blade hero. BKB committed by Ace. Tiger, he could have find him. Black hole, he's got the two of them. He's got the big one. Ace, but there's the counter play. Misery. The stolen black hole comes in, but Mickey's still able to get off the Omni Slash. Ace is falling low. They've cut down both the three of them now, as Tiger still gets the job done despite Misery trying his best to turn it around there with that stolen black hole. They've got the RP down onto the two of them. Mickey falling low. Can they get Mickey out? Skills will keep him in position, but Mickey's just turning. He's trying to push back into Chessie. Puts the Blade Fury to try and run the clips, tearing Chessie away from Mickey. As Mickey will live. Stolen strike from Poik actually catches Misery on the high ground. Will finish him off. Poik still playing around with the Brood. Chessie trying to turn, but the silence and the burst from the two of them comes into play. Boxy cleans up with the double. As Liquid could see you onto the mid-racks and even towards the tier 4s. Buybacks are there from 5 men.
Radiant's middle
But they'll be able to come back and give it one more shot at trying to push Liquid
Radiant's
back.
middle tower is
Chessie,
under attack.
he almost just got glimpsed outside the base. Like, if it was a quarter second faster, he was going to get glimpsed from in front of all the Liquid, but either way, they have to watch their base die. But the jump in, he's straight in.
The skew attempt off the mark didn't matter even where the kinetic field would have stopped him. Mickey, he just played through and looking to close the game. But the question is, does he actually have the damage to be able to do so? Chessie, cold snap. Chessie, he's silenced. Chessie's just dead. As he died back from the Brood. Zigbay's in trouble. GG is going to be called. As Liquid now clean this game 2 up. And with that, the series is theirs. Looking very fine. Some of these picks just perfect. The Tiger Enigma. I mean, it was just a crucial part of this game. Now, having that black hole, it really did do everything. And refreshing to see, because a lot of the time we do.
Juggernaut!